Hey y'all, it's Danielle in this thing. Okay, look, featuring my second love besides my husband, my iced coffee, period. Okay, look, nah, okay. I wanted to low key talk about like a more serious topic, kind of controversial, but I see it all the time. So I was like, you know what? And I have a lot of things to say about this. So, what are we talking about today? We talking about basically people crying out for help. Low, like we're going to talk about like depression or feelings of depression because, nowadays to consider yourself depressed or to say you're depressed, you got to be diagnosed with it. Otherwise, people like, oh, you're not depressed unless you was diagnosed with it. Whatever. We all know how we feeling. We know when we're not feeling like ourselves. And if you feel like it's to the extreme on this spectrum of feeling like it's depressed, you don't need a doctor to tell you that you've been stamped and diagnosed with it. Okay, that's just how I feel about it. But moving on. Okay, so I seen this like popular YouTuber post on Facebook the other day, like, I seriously want to kill myself. Like, what would y'all do if I killed myself right now? And I seen so many people in the comments, like he had thousands of comments of people like, please don't do that, reach out to somebody, we all love you, we need you here, think twice about that, your fans, your family love you, you have all these comments. And what I want to say is that I see this all the time, not even just from well-known people, popular people. You see this from your average Joe. You see people crying out for help a lot. Or you see people address depression on social media a lot. And I empathize a lot with people because I feel like, when I was like 21, 22, that's when I was at my lowest time. That's when I felt like I was depressed. I really felt that way. I remember I used to go sit down and watch a view and I would just want to just soak in my loneliness and my depression or whatever you want to call it, to the point where I felt empty. I felt like I didn't have nobody who understood. I didn't have nobody who really had my back. I didn't have nobody who wanted to hear me out. And all of those things led to me feeling like, you know what, it brought me back to this question where I'd be like, what is the point of life? What's the point? And I was one of those kids who always thought about that. Like, what's the point of all of this? And I used to really, really wonder, like, what happens after this? What does this mean? And what me and my friends was talking about when I was just in Vegas is it was a real eye-opening conversation because we had talked about, like, I feel like it's a purpose to life now. I feel like, I heavily believe in karma. I feel like we are, like that saying say, we are a soul having a human experience, not a human having a soul experience or whatever. So I'm like, I really hold myself accountable by believing that it's more to our life than just the life we have on the planet that we are on. Like, our soul lives on and on. I feel like I got a wise soul. I feel like I've been here before. And I feel like lifetimes and lifetimes I'm going to keep reliving, whether that's physically as a human in a body, who knows what happens, but I feel like this is just not it. That's what holds me accountable to being a good person, or taking life serious, wanting to put the most into it, wanting to put my all into it, my heart into it, and try to really understand it. But before I got to this point, I would really question that. And I had this victim mentality, you feel me? But I'm saying all of that to say that when I felt at my lowest, I didn't have nobody to talk to, so I thought. That's what you tell yourself. And the reason I say that is because you can make a blank statement, I have nobody, I'm depressed, nobody to talk to. And you'll have so many people who are offering a hand, but something deep inside you is like, but I don't want to talk to that person, or I don't feel comfortable talking to that person. Or you think, why is the main person who I want to talk to not willing to talk to me about it? And you could say, oh, I want that to be my mom or my dad or my best friend, and you feel like those times never come. But sometimes we try to put on a mask and try not to let them even see that part of us. Or we have a lot of pride. We have a lot of ego. We don't even allow a conversation or a vulnerable moment to come to where you can open up to them about that stuff. And also, our families try to make it be like, if you an outgoing, extroverted person, whatever, sometimes they feel like they like, shit, they say everything else to me. I didn't know I had to sit down and really be like, what is wrong? You could talk to me. I thought they already knew that. A lot of times our closest family and friends feel like you already know. They have that like open door policy. They don't think that they have to pry. And sometimes people might feel like maybe a topic is too sensitive and you're not ready to talk about it. Like, hey, they'll talk to me about it when they're ready. You know what I mean? And it's like, what I realized is that when I look back, nobody I would have talked to was going to help me not feel the way I was feeling. I literally had to do the work inside. And that sound cliche, but it's the truth. Like when they say you have to do inner healing, it's nothing else nobody could do for you. That's why when you do make these like, subliminal messages or blanks, or not blank, but just flat, like nobody to talk to. Reach out, your family love you, but when somebody reach out, you don't really open up. It's because you haven't even really opened up to yourself. Like, I'm gonna be 100 with you. When I was in my healing journey, it was so many things that I was not even honest with myself about, that I didn't even really address with myself or say out loud. You ever had those times where you're talking to somebody and you're just going with the flow and you say something out loud one day and you like, that's the first time I said that out loud. And that shit hit different when you say it out loud, right? Sometimes we'll have stuff so buried in our mind, in our subconscious, that we don't even realize, like, we're not comprehending actually what we're feeling. Like, it's there, but you're not comprehending it. And until you get to the point of understanding it, comprehending it, you cannot, it's like that thing. Like, if you're in denial, there's no way that you can fix it. So it's like with these things, it's like I really empathize with people because I understand it. I've been there. I've been in that place where you feel like somebody is supposed to or should, or you want somebody to talk to you so you could get it out. But nobody can do that for you. That's the sad part. You could go to a therapist, and the point of talking to a therapist is so they could get you to say shit out loud. It's honestly not even nothing that you say to them it's nothing that you could say to them that they'll say back to you that you didn't already know. They're just putting it right there in front of you. Like, this is all the stuff you just said. That equals guilt. That equals abandonment. That equals, you get what I'm saying? That's the point. That's why therapists, they not in there talking about themselves. They in there asking you questions. Okay, so how you feel about that? Why do we think that the main generic question that therapists ask, okay, how do you feel about that? So you could say it out loud. You need to have these realization moments with yourself. And that's what inner healing is. And it's like, that's why journaling helps. That's why talking helps. And I'm not lying to you. One of the most therapeutic things that I do, now I've done, because I'm not, is make these damn YouTube videos. When I tell you they be therapy sessions within themselves, I first go within myself. I don't make a video unless it's resonating with me. And then I sit down and I'll make a video. Sometimes I'll shoot it 3-4 times. And it's me talking about stuff. And then after I do the video, I'm not lying to you, something in me feels like, it could be something that I've been replaying in my head over and over and over and over again. And then as soon as I talk about it, sometimes I'll look back and it'd be like, damn, I was thinking about that for 4 months straight. And ever since I made that video, I haven't thought about it again. It's so much healing in it. And that's why sometimes I recommend it. Like, one day sit down, if you struggle with this, one day sit down and record yourself talking about what's bothering you. Or just sit down and talk to yourself. And then get a chance to replay it back and really look at it. It's damn near like a science experiment. It's a psychology experiment. And I'm telling you, it could be so much healing in that. But the thing is, like, man, we living in a world right now where so many people are being affected by things that we don't understand. It could be COVID. People are losing people due to COVID. People are just always losing people. That's life. We are in a world right now where it's just so unknown that I can understand why people are feeling this way. Social media is like, it's so many factors that plays into why we could feel the way we feel. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter who you reach out to. Nobody can help. The best thing you could do is reach out to a therapist or a friend who's willing to listen. But nobody's going to just be like, hey, I'm going to make you tell me how you feel. You have to be either willing to talk about it, and if you seriously feel like you have nobody who you could do that to, with nobody comfortable enough, sit down and make a video. It's highly recommended. I'm telling you, okay? I'm telling you, it helps. It helps me tremendously. Like, it's so many videos that I made that I done opened up on the YouTube about that. Like, when I started YouTube, I was like, what do I want to do? I didn't want to do gossiping. There's so many things that I thought about. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to share my experiences and damn near just show my healing journey. Like, this is really what the channel is all about. My healing journey, my thoughts, the way that I got from this place to this place, because it's not like I've been through hella trauma, but I've been through a lot of things that I've overcome just mentally. Like, I've gone through a lot of things like mentally, because honestly, we could be our biggest enemies and our worst critics, and we are so hard on ourselves. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, we could be our number one cheerleader too, but we just got to start understanding ourselves. We got to sit with ourselves. We got to accept it. And then if it means so much to you to where you hate it, that means that God is just trying to put something in, get your attention, and it's able to, you're capable of fixing it. But first, we have to recognize it, okay? So, anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all for subscribing. Y'all are truly appreciated, okay? Don't mind the hair. The ponytail wasn't, it was right here, and it ended up shifting to the, I just went with it today. Anyway, y'all go get y'all some iced coffee and enjoy the rest of y'all day. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.